Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. As you guys come on into this live, let me know that you're on here. Those of you that are catching us on the replay, type in hashtag replay, leave your questions, your comments, all that awesome stuff. And I will do my best to go back and respond back to your questions, your comments. We're going to have a little conversation today. Those of you that may be new to my space, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches and service providers for coaches. And my goal is to show them how to accelerate their income and their impact, but without compromising their Christian values. And so we do that by showing them how to shift into creating five-figure weeks and days in their businesses. And so, you guys, this right here, I don't know. We're gonna see how this conversation goes. I'm just gonna say it like that. Like I don't have I don't know. I don't know. Um I'm gonna try my best to say this, and I'm gonna try my best to behave with this. And so, those of you, first of all, my audience are established. They're entrepreneurs. So that's who I'm talking to in this live. So, first of all, you see this live and you're like, who is that? And you're an entrepreneur. I do encourage you to go look him up, um, because he did an event this past weekend. Actually, it was on Saturday where he did a book launch, is what he did. He's a marketer, in the online space. So, once again, I'm talking to my entrepreneurs right now. So, if you're in the online space, if you do have a business, you're selling a product or a service, so on and so forth. That was a powerful case study. And so, yes. And see, I've been aware of him for the past year. I think I was introduced to him like a year ago, a year and a half ago. And so, but I didn't know anything about his book launch on Saturday until like 3 hours after it was done. So I didn't even know. So I'm not even gonna lie. But of course, when I started seeing things pop up on my news feed, that's when it kind of caught my attention. And so this was those of you, if you follow me for a minute, I usually take a different spin on things. And so I'm talking to my believers right now. That's who I'm talking to. So there were some things, like I said, I saw it from the perspective of a business strategist. I saw it from the perspective of like a case study. But what kind of caught my attention were some of the people's comments that I saw over the past couple of days. So things like, he didn't do anything special. Other people have been teaching the exact same thing that he was talking about. Why don't you guys support and promote smaller creators like we did him? Of course he was able to do it the way that he did it. He has millions of followers and he makes millions. He makes millions of dollars. He has millions of dollars. Every month that he's making. And so, when I'm seeing those types of comments, those were the ones that kind of threw me off a bit, because this is my thing. Like I said, coming from a marketing perspective, coming from an advertising perspective, coming from a business owner, period. And so when I'm reading things like that, I'm like, well, dang, that's what out of that, that's what you got from that. So as a business owner, that was all that you pulled away from what he did. And once again, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things. What he talked about something new? No. What he talked about wasn't new. What blew a lot of people's mind for me were the numbers. And so for those people that were like, of course he's gonna make numbers like that. He has millions of followers and he makes millions of dollars. There are other people who have millions of followers that make millions of dollars but didn't have 500 or half a million people register for an event. So what was different about what he did versus some of the other people that have the same, you see what I'm saying, criteria? Like what was the difference? So to me, just the numbers in and of itself, and that's what I want to talk about. Yeah, and this is, we already know scripture. There's nothing new under the sun. And so this is the thing. And what this, I want to actually talk about some of the things that he did from me. Like I said, we're just gonna have a little conversation. Thank you, Nicole. We're just gonna have a little conversation. And so from this perspective, as a business strategist, these are some of the things that I pulled from what it was that he did. And so this is the part that I really want us to hone in on. So those people that are like, well, hey, he has millions and he makes millions and all of that stuff like that. My question is, for those of you that came from that perspective, or for those of you that were like, well, hey, how come we don't support smaller creators, the way that they did him? And, they're tagging him and they're talking about him. So of course, now that's going to drive even more sales to what it is that he was doing. And so when I see questions or comments like that, my first thought was, well, did that not fire you up? to say, hey, let me go ahead and collab with some other people. Hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to do something to scale? It may not look as big as that, but what can I do with the people that I'm connected with? Like that type of thing. Don't just brush it off and say, well, hey, because he makes millions and he has millions on his platform. No, my thing is, if that is your take on it, did it fire you up? Did you then, after that, go and share one of the smaller creators that you were talking about? Did you go share some of their content? Or did you go and invest in what it is or buy or purchase or whatever it is that they did? Did you do that? Or are we out there just talking? Because it's so much easier for me to talk about something or brush something off or complain about something versus me doing introspection and looking at myself and asking myself some questions. I'm just going to ask some of those questions like that. So these are a couple of things that I pull from what he did. And so, like I said, I see that as a case study. My mind automatically went into case study mode. My mind automatically went into unpacking what I saw. And I'm going to go back and watch it a couple of more times too, like that type of thing. So these were a couple of things that I drew from what he did. And once again, those of you that are in this online space, and like I said, you don't know who it is. Whenever I see a name or something trending on social media, I don't ever go under somebody's comment and say who. You know what I do? I go and do my research. So that way I have my own perspective on it versus somebody else's commentary. Like I don't ever ask who is it that you're talking about. I just go and look them up. I go and do my own research, like that type of thing. Hey, Francine. So these are some of the things that I pulled from what it was and what I saw with what he did. So once again, it just caused me to do some introspection. It caused me to look at one. This is one of the first things that I looked at was the power in collaboration. So all of us business owners, entrepreneurs, and once again, I work specifically with believers in business. Like that's my target audience, specifically Christian female coaches, established Christian female coaches and service providers for coaches. And so I always say we can find whatever we're looking for inside the kingdom. And so for me, when I saw what he did, one of the first things I thought about was the power of collaboration. Because he clearly talked about the fact that he used affiliate marketing, which is all about relationships, all about collaboration. He talked about how even with his employees, them buying into the vision of what it is that he's doing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, Rakita. Yeah. And like I said, I was just introduced to him last year. And like I said, I had no clue about his book launch on Saturday. So like I said, the power in collaboration. This goes back to the fact, especially as business owners. Hey, Tanika, you guys, we were never called to do business on our own, to do business by ourselves. So looking at what he did on Saturday and the power of collaboration, even yourself, asking yourself, who is it that I can collaborate with? And you guys, when you do collaboration, it needs to be a win-win for everybody. It needs to be a win-win. Some of you guys get up in your feelings. I said I wasn't going to step on some toes, but I am. I'm sorry. Some of you guys get up in your feelings because you're like, people won't let me on their stage, or people don't allow me, or people have clicks and all that stuff like that. But I'm like, how is it you being a part of their stage? How is that going to be a win-win for the both of you guys? How is it going to be a win for them? How is it going to be a win for you? How is it going to be a win for their audience? Are you thinking like that? So like I said, these were some of the things that popped up as I'm looking. I'm like, wow, that was powerful when it came to collaboration. And so like I said, it made me think about the fact, even for myself and the people that are connected to me and with me and all of those things. Because you guys, I believe, and once again, as a business strategist, I've been doing this for the past 7 years, entrepreneur for the past 15 years. So I'm not new to this stuff. And like I said, what he was talking about, it was nothing new. But once again, it was the power in what it was that he was doing. And this is the thing. You don't have to have millions of followers. You don't have to be a millionaire to collaborate with other people. I believe in scripture when it talks about do not despise small beginnings. So what are you doing at the stage that you're at now? How can you collaborate and connect with others? So like I said, it's a win for them, it's a win for you, and it's a win for their audience. And it's not just a one-sided thing. Well, hey, they have a large audience, I want to get in front of them and da-da-da-da-da. No. It needs to be a win-win for everyone involved. So how is that? And so, like I said, even for myself, that was one of the questions that just started popping up. Bear, what can you do to facilitate more collaborations? So whether or not it's me collaborating with someone or referring someone to someone that's connected to me. Are you thinking about it from that perspective? Do you know how much more power it is when it comes to collaboration? So, like I said, that was one of the things that was one of the things that stood out to me immediately. So, what did he say? And I don't have all the numbers, but I know he said over 100,000 people who had registered for that event was through affiliate marketing. So, once again, because of his collaboration with other people, one fifth of the people who registered for his event came because of someone else's audience. How powerful is that? So once again, the power in collaboration, that was one of the biggest things that stood out to me from that event, the power in collaboration. So once again, you don't have to be a millionaire. You know, you don't have to have this big, gigantic platform to collaborate. Think about people where, like I said, you have complimentary services to where, once again, it's a benefit for everyone involved. So that was one thing that stood out to me. Like I said, the power in collaboration was one of the things that I noticed from that particular event on Saturday. Another powerful thing was the power of a team. So those of you that have a team, I'm going to come from this with two different perspectives. So those of you that do have a team of people, and once again, the vision and the power of those that are a part of his team, a part of his company, that bought into the vision of it. That was one. So even looking at the team of people that you have, being able to ask yourself, how can I leverage this team when it comes to building the brand and growing the brand and all of that stuff? Because he talked about, now once again, this is one thing you want to keep in mind. What are most of us going to be able to do things at the scale that he did it? No. But once again, how can you do what he did at the level that you're on? And then those of you that are looking to build a team, I tell my people this all the time. Have you written out the job description already? You know, you believe in God for a team, but do you even know what it is that you're looking for when it comes to the team? What's the job description? Treat your business like a business. Are you coming from it from a CEO perspective? Do you have that CEO mindset, a business owner mindset? So this team that you may dream or that you believe in God for, that you want, once again, write the vision and make it plain. Are you doing your part? I'm just asking the questions. So like I said, even in the power of how he was leveraging his team when it came to the brand, his particular brand. So once again, those of you that do have a team, like I said, because like I said, in your mind, did that confirm some things when it came to how you're leveraging your team? Was it some ahas for you when it came to your team, building your team, you being mindful about the team that you're building and the people that you're bringing on to support your brand? I'm just asking. Just a couple of questions. That's all. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions today. And then the next thing, the power in your offer, right? So, of course, one of the biggest things, if you watch what he did, one of the biggest things when it came to his offer, and once again, if you know him and how he operates, he's very super crystal clear on a couple of things. So even when it came to the offer and the way that he did the offer, right? And so once again, those of you that know him or that follow him, that know anything about him, right? You may not have been surprised with what he did with his offer, because he's super crystal clear. We're going to talk about this a little bit later about who his ideal client is anyway. He knows who it is that he serves. What I pulled from that particular, what he did on Saturday, once again, from a case study perspective, goes back to the power of your offer. You have to believe in what it is that you offer like nobody else's business. You have to be so sold on what it is when it comes to your offer. You have to be so sold on the transformation that people will experience as a result of working with you that you can't even sit still and be quiet. Like every single day, there is something that you're doing, someone that you're talking to. There's thoughts that's going on in your head. There's notes that you jot down. All these little post-it notes I got all over the place. There are notes that you drop down, notes that you have in your phone, that you have in Trello, wherever it is, when it comes to your offer. And if your offer is transformational the way that you see it, you should always stand 10 toes down on what it is that you offer. And you believe in everything it is that you do, and knowing good and well that part of your goal is to get the people in, those next level clients in, that will be impacted by what it is that you do. Nicole said, as a CEO and leader of 32 team members, you have to make sure that you're ready to handle that type of scale. And so the beauty in that, so like I said, even thinking about your offer, this is one of the biggest things when people come to me as a business strategist. One of the first things we look at is their offer. Because for so many of them, when they truly understand the power of the transformation that people achieve as a result of working with them, literally, like when you see these testimonials that I had, hey, somebody went from $500 to $5,000, they were able to sell it. Somebody went from $1,000 offer to a $5,000 offer, they were able to sell it. Hey, she went from $3,500 to $7,500 within 3 weeks and was able to sell. Why are these testimonials the way that they are? Because once again, getting my clients to be able to see the power in their offer. It's not just a 12-week program, period. It's not just an 8-week program. One of the biggest shifts for my clients is when I'm able to get them to see that, once again, the tools, the resources, however it is that you support your clients, they're able to literally use that over and over and over again. So the things that you show them is not something that disappears after 12 weeks. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So once again, if you believe in the power of your offer, it makes a huge difference in how you show up. It makes a huge difference when you talk about what it is that you offer. It makes a huge difference on who your offer is for, all of those things. So even for yourself, when you're looking at what it is that you offer, does it light you up? Are you offering it in a way that makes sense for you? Or are you setting yourself up to be burnt out? All of those things. All of those things. Hey, Regina. There we go. Nicole said it blows me what we offer. I'm like, I wish someone did that for me. Those things. So you guys, once again, look at what it is that you offer. Does it light you up? There we go. Regina said it lights me up. Tanika said she has the evergreen. You guys, I'm telling you. And so once again, when you have that offer that lights you up, like I said, you're able to stand 10 toes down on what it is. If you're looking at your offer, especially my established people, because there are going to be things that you tried that worked, that didn't work, things that you're like, people may rave about, but you're like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And my thing is, you have to stand so strong in what it is and how it is that you want to serve people. If it no longer lights you up, if you're like, I don't want to do it like this anymore, why are you still doing it? Why are you still doing it? I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. It's just so much harder for me to get up out of bed in the morning doing something that I don't desire to do anymore. And for a lot of you guys, that's why you left out of your job. Or if you're on your job and you're looking to leave your job, it's because you're going someplace where it no longer lights you up anymore. It's no longer in alignment with where it is and how it is that you desire to go. You don't want to create that type of scenario in your business. You don't want to do that. So once again, the power in your offer, or the power of your offer. So once again, the way that he did that, the way that he offered it, all of that stuff was in alignment with how it is, his brand, and the way that he does things, because of who it is that he serves. And once again, he's so unapologetic about who it is that he serves. So once again, even at the level that you're on, so you don't have to have millions of followers, you don't have to be a millionaire to offer what it is that you're offering. And then at the price point, now that yesterday or Saturday what he did wasn't about pricing, but once again, even at the price point that you desire to show up for people. And I pray that you did not walk away from that conversation on Saturday, if you were able to watch it, if you watched the replay or whatever it was, thinking that you have to give everything away. Because that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. So once again, one of the other takeaways, like I said, was the power of the offer. And once again, being able to stand 10 toes down with that. Another part to what he was talking about, his advertising, lead generation, he talked about organic and paid. Once again, I don't have to be a millionaire. I don't have to have millions of followers to incorporate what he was talking about when it came to lead generation and advertising and all of those things. And so once again, This right here, the first two things that he talked about when it came to lead generation are the first two things that I talked to with about my clients. Once again, those of you that were complaining about the fact that he didn't teach anything new, you guys, once again, strategy is strategy. Strategy is supposed to withstand the test of time. Not one time did he get up there and say, hey, I'm going to teach you guys something new. What I'm talking about and what I did was something that was just earth shattering and never been seen before. No, that's not what he said. So for you to walk away complaining that he didn't teach anything new or that there are other people that are teaching the same thing, yes, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. That part. Yep, Tanika said she watched the replay and had her wheels turning. Yes, being able to get together and have these conversations. You guys, this is the thing. And so I don't care what anybody says. You do not have to be a millionaire and you do not have to have millions of followers to connect with your warm audience, period. These two things right here, the first two things that he talked about, like I said, with my clients, these are the first two things that we tackle first because these two things are the fastest, one of the fastest ways to pay the cash. And so what's keeping you from connecting with your warm audience? Now, if you're like, well, babe, I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to identify my warm audience. Then, hey, if you're an established coach who sold a 4-figure offer and you have an audience, you need to sign up for my, or at least let me rephrase that. You need to apply for my live private masterclass. We have 2 sessions. We have one tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, which is Tuesday, August the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're doing another one on Thursday evening, which is August 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you choose one of those live master classes to attend, not both. And so once again, being able to tap into your warm audience. Every person has a warm audience, period. Now, whether or not you know how to tap into it, whether or not you know how to get the conversations going, whether or not you know how to get them to raise their hand and let them know all of those things, that's a whole different story. If you don't, once again, you're an established coach or service provider for coaches, you sold a 4-figure offer, you have an audience, apply for my live masterclass. Once again, we're having one tomorrow and then one on Thursday evening, okay? So once again, nothing stopping none of us from being able to tap into our warm audience. So those of you that already do that, you're like, check, yep. Already do that. Another part that he talked about, which once again, you don't have to have millions of followers, you don't have to be a millionaire, is your content, leveraging your content. What are you doing with your content? How are you leveraging that content to grow your audience? I'm just asking, how are you leveraging to grow your audience? How are you leveraging your content to nurture your current audience? How are you doing that? There is so much power when it comes to your content. And one thing I'm always telling my clients is you want to respect the platform. What you may do on Instagram is going to look different than what you do over there on LinkedIn. Take the time to study the platforms. Once again, you can't say that you leverage the online space, but then you're not honing in on your craft. If you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're saying that you leverage this, your marketer, your salesperson, what are you doing to hone those skills in? What are you doing? And y'all know I love me some God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, scripture, all of that stuff. I believe in the power of prayer. But you guys, what are you doing? What are you investing in when it comes to your time, your money, your resources? What are you investing in to become better as a marketer, to become better in sales? What are you doing? Just like for yourself, whatever career you have or you had, you went to school, you did training, you did courses. There were things that you invested in to get better at what it is that you do. Even within the things that you do within the church. There are things that you do that you use. It's more than prayer. We know the power of prayer, but there are more things that you do than just pray. Faith without works is dead. Say it again, Nicole. Just saying. So that type of thing. So once again, when it comes to your content, So once again, warm audience and content. Those are two of the things with my clients. These are the first two things that we tweak when it comes to what it is that they do. So once again, when you're seeing these testimonials, they're going from $500 to $5,000. They're going from 1,000 to 7,500, and then selling within 7 days, because that's the other key piece. Selling within 7 days. Why do you constantly see me sharing those types of testimonials with the length of time that people are doing these things? One, it goes back to your offer, and a secret that I share with the lady that's a part of the ladies that's in my Facebook group and on my email list of why that's so important. So once again, look at your content. What does your content say? Who is your content speaking to? What is your content doing? Do you understand the power of your content? And I say this to my believers in business all the time. Like I said, just sharing a scripture or motivational quote, that ain't gonna get it. That's not gonna get it. It's not gonna cut it. I'm just saying there's so much power in your content, and there is nothing. Once again, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to have millions of followers to put out consistent. That's how you get to that space is by leveraging your content. Are you showing up consistently? When you are showing up, what kind of conversations are you having with your audience via your content? Those are just a couple of questions that I'm asking. I'm just asking a couple of questions. Hey, Wanda, how are you leveraging something that you have access to? Like I said, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to have millions of followers to have out quality content. Now, let's talk about one thing he talked about in that on the webinar that he did. He mentioned thousands of pieces of content. Does that mean that you have to put out thousands of pieces of content every week? No, you don't have to do thousands of pieces of content. But my question is, with the content that you're putting out there, what does it say? How does it nourish your current audience? How does it expand you when it comes to getting in front of other people's audiences? What is it saying about that? If someone were to land on one of your social media pages or end up on your email list or on your website, what does that speak to them about you and your brand and how it is that you may be able to support them? What is it saying about you? Is it saying anything? Hey, Angel. Hey, Lucretia. I'm just asking the question. Yeah, I'm just asking questions. That's all. I'm just asking some questions. The other thing that he mentioned, cold outreach. There's a strategy when it comes to cold outreach, and then leveraging paid ads. The cold outreach, the paid ads. You use the paid ads to help with the cold outreach. People that say paid ads don't work. No, you don't know how to work paid ads. That's what that means. You'll see people out there, oh my gosh, doing paid ads. You don't have to do paid ads. Oh my gosh, organic. Organic is the way to go. You guys, once again, there's more than one way to do a thing. It's more than one way to do a thing. It's more than one way to do a thing. I'm just saying. So like I said, for him, once again, that just seeing that from the case study perspective, being able to look to see what he did. And like I said, if your first thought when you saw what he did was, well, of course he could do that because he has millions of followers. Of course he could do that because he, makes millions of dollars. That's all that you walked away from that, from what you saw with that. That's all that you walked away. Yes, Lucretia, I said this the other day, and I was like, I don't even know if I can, that politically correct. Can you even say that anymore? These days about skinning the cat around here. And so, you guys, like I said, those first two things, those things that he mentioned from lead generation, there was nothing new. There's nothing new with that. But once again, from your perspective, asking yourself, okay, you know what? How can I leverage what I can when it comes to, like I said, if nothing else, you can control warm audience as far as how you connect with your warm audience. You can control the content that you put out there, period. Does that mean that you have to be on every single platform? No. But the platforms that you are on, how are you leveraging those things? Once again, I'm just asking the questions. And then one final thing I want to talk about from what I gleaned from what he did on Saturday. His ideal client and his audience. That's who he was talking to. He's very super crystal clear on who he works with. He only works with business owners who are at a certain level, $1 million level. He only works with clients, businesses that are at a certain level. If you're not at that level, he will tell you, hey, you can use this free content that I have over here to get you to that level. And then when you get to that level, I would love to work with you. He's very clear about that. Are you very clear about who it is you serve? Are you very clear about your audience and who you speak to? Somebody was like, well, yeah, we wouldn't be able to do that because he was out there in jeans and a t-shirt looking like, that's what you pulled from that. He was talking to his audience. That appealed to his audience. How are you showing up each day for your audience? So whether or not you have an audience of 5 or whether or not you have an audience of 5 million, who's your audience? Who's your ideal? Who is it that you're speaking to? Who is it that your services are for? Are you super crystal clear on that? Or are you still saying, I serve everybody? Are you afraid to niche down because you're afraid of leaving some people out? Afraid of leaving money on the table? I'm just asking the questions. Say it again. Say it again. Nicole said hard work beats talent when talent hardly works. You don't need 1 million followers. No, you don't need 1 million followers. And this is the thing. The people who have 1 million followers didn't start with 1 million followers. But they started. And this is why you see some people who, when you look at the services and the quality and all that stuff, it's not even on par with what it is that you do. Like your stuff is so much better. But the thing is, they're showing up. They're showing up. They're showing up. They're showing up. They're showing up for the people that they've been called to serve. They're showing up for those people that they're ideal, 5-star VIP, next level dream, whatever word you use. They're showing up and they're showing up consistently for those people. And once again, are you going to be able to put on a production the way that he did? Are you going to be able to have 200,000, first of all, 500,000 registers for your event? 200,000 people that actually showed up live? Or will you say, hey, for the people that I am called to serve, I'm going to show up for them? You're going to have a conversation with them. You're going to show them how you're going to be able to solve whatever their issue is. Or how are you showing up? Are you having those targeted conversations with them? That's the thing. And so, like I said, as I did that, that's for me watching the event that he did one time. I'm going back and I'm going to watch it a couple of times because I know I missed some other little nuggets and some other little things. But I saw someone on my timeline, I can't remember who said it. I think her name was April. And she was like, as much as he invested, right, for that event, yes, he had 500,000 people that registered for that event. There were still people, myself raising my hand, that didn't even know anything about it. So no matter how often you show up, it's still not enough. Like, it's still people who haven't heard about what it is that you do. Well, I just posted about that yesterday, so I'm not going to post about that today. Well, that person, they just saw it yesterday. No, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. Like I said, that was a prime example. The money that he poured into that event. And like I said, I had no clue that it was even going on Saturday until I started looking at the timeline 3 hours after the event was done. I'm like, oh, he had something. He did a book launch. And once again, once it wrapped up in a book launch, what he did was a book launch. So you guys, I'm telling you. So like I said, how are you showing up for your people? Once again, you can't show up enough. So like I said, that was another little nugget that someone dropped. Someone that's on my, now I'm connected to, her name is April. And she was just like, yeah, out of all of that, there were still people who did not know. So keep showing up. Keep showing up. All of that, way more than enough pie for everybody. Way more than enough pie for everybody. Now, once again, although he gave away the courses that he was talking about for free, he didn't walk away from that event without making money. He made buku money from that event, that free event. Because when there is power, and I tell my clients this all the time, anything that's associated with your brand, you don't attach mess to your brand. So your freebie, I tell my clients this all the time. your freebie. When you do a live stream, you send an email out to anything that's related to your brand. Don't put mess out there. Don't just put any old thing out there. So that free event for him, once again, people are talking about him that hadn't been like he hadn't had this kind of press. When was the last time you scrolled your timeline and saw his name? Not to this extent. And so, like I said, go back. Even from these, 4 or 5 nuggets that I pulled from this, the power of collaboration, the power of team, the power of lead generation, the power of knowing your audience. Those are things where, once again, you don't have to have millions of followers. You don't have to be a millionaire to tap into. So how are you leveraging that? And like I said, for those of you that were on the other side, it was like, you're not teaching anything new. People have been teaching us all the time. You know, this person, this kind of content, all this stuff. My thing is, then that should have fired you up to, like I said, let's go collaborate. How can you connect with other people? Once again, what can you do? It may not look at that level yet, but how can, because you best believe you can't do it by yourself. You best believe you cannot do it by yourself. So instead of having conversations like, well, hey, he was able to do it because he's a millionaire. Well, hey, other people are doing it. Hey, smaller content. How about we all get together and figure out how we can leverage it together? It doesn't have to be something that you do by yourself. So like I said, those are just some of the nuggets that I got just from that, watching it that one time. Now, I did go back into the back some things up and all that stuff like that, but watching it all the way through. So you guys, I'm telling you, and that's why, like I said, some of the things that he did in that event, once again, just confirmation. One of the things when it comes to my revenue accelerator, when I talk about collaboration, so not only, and even with some of my, like I look back now, so some clients tagged me the other day in a post because I did the prayer of Jabez back earlier this year. I did a prayer of Jabez challenge, and these ladies are connected to each other across country. You know, they're events together. They are one another's clients. Like there's so much power in collaboration. And like I said, because I work with believers in business, I have this mindset that we can find whatever it is that we want inside the kingdom. So even with what I do in my programs, there's such a strong power in collaboration. And not just collaboration and investing other people's things, but I love what Wanda said about cross-promoting our events and stuff like that. That's a part of my revenue accelerator. So we go in with the sharing of people's content, their events, being able to connect with their content, all of those things. Just those little things like that pushes you out in front of more people. Because just like Nicole said, there's no competition. It's enough pie for everybody. Are you in spaces like that encourage that collaboration with one another? Okay. So like I said, those were the nuggets that I picked up from that. And once again, even in this conversation that we're having, because like I said, people are like, y'all talk about this person, he already got all these followers, there's actually strategy in that. Because anytime anything is trending, so whatever industry you're in and something is trending, insert yourself into the conversation. Insert yourself into the conversation. So now when people are looking this up, your content comes up as well. So you've given your 2 cents on the conversation as well. Insert yourself into the conversation. So if this is not something, so if you're not into marketing or whatever, I had this conversation because I'm a business strategist. I work with business owners. Hey, Thaddeus. So it made sense for me to insert myself into this conversation. But look at what's trending. Look at what's trending. Can you insert yourself into that conversation? I'm just asking the question. Okay. So you guys, like I said, just wanted to hop on here to have this conversation. Those of you, if you're an established coach or service provider for coaches, you've sold a 4-figure offer, you have an audience. Once again, I am going to invite you to apply for my live private masterclass. So we're doing 2 of those masterclasses this week. We're having one tomorrow, which is Tuesday, August the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And literally, my clients, because the people that I serve, their goal is they want to sell or they want to serve more high ticket clients. So they're looking to sell more of their high ticket services. And so if that is something that you're interested in, for me, high ticket is $5,000 plus. I know other people got their definitions, but $5,000 plus. So if you're looking, because my clients literally ship from 5-figure months into 5-figure weeks and days. And so in order for them to do that, we look at their high ticket services. Do they have other services that's less than 5,000? Yeah. But once again, with this right here, we're focused on their high ticket services. So selling their $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 plus services. And so if you're interested in selling more of your high ticket services, you're like, well, babe, I don't have a high ticket service. If you sold a 4-figure offer, you have an audience, so you have a proven strategy. You know that what you teach works. You know that what you do works. If you get your ideal client in, they follow the process, they're going to achieve this transformation. If that is you, then I'm going to invite you to apply for this live private masterclass. We have one session tomorrow, which is Tuesday, August 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have another session on Thursday evening, August 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you choose one of those dates to attend. You're not attending both of them. Now, once again, it's a live private masterclass. If you notice, I said it's by application. It is by application only, so it's not open to everybody. So you literally have to apply, and there's questions you have to answer. Some people, they put their name and email in, because what happens when you go to this link that's either scrolling below me or above the video, bit.ly/Beverly Private Masterclass, you go through and you read through. During this masterclass, we're going to talk about your pricing and your offer, your lead generation, your messaging, your sales process when it comes to closing more high ticket clients. And so literally you go through, you read through everything that we're going to cover. You decide which day. Do I want to do Tuesday or Thursday? You put in your name and your email. You hit the application. You hit the button that says apply. So people started reading those questions. They're like, okay, never mind. I'm good. I'm good. Because once again, this space I want to curate. Because in this space for this live private master class, one of the questions that I ask is, what's your revenue goal for the rest of 2023? What's your revenue goal for the rest of 2023? I got people that said $250,000, $50,000, $20,000, $30,000. Once again, I want to see mindset wise, money mindset wise, where you are, what's your goal? What are some of the other things that you're looking to achieve before the end of 2023? Those types of things. So like I said, if you are interested, go ahead and apply. Click on the button. Once again, it's going to give you more information about the masterclass. You put in your name and your email. You hit the button to apply. You go through and you apply. You go through and answer the questions. Like I said, it's about 10 to 12 questions on there, because in this group, and once again, because it's by application only, it's going to be a small, intimate group using their responses to help to actually curate some of the content that's going to be a part of these master classes, because I want this to be customized for the people who are a part of the master class. So once again, I don't do things the way that everybody else does it. This is going to look different. And so once again, we're going to have conversations when it comes to your offer, your pricing, your lead gen, your messaging, and your sales process if you're looking to close more high ticket clients. And then we'll talk about how you may be able to also accelerate your income before, or your revenue before the end of 2023. So if you're interested, definitely click on that link and apply. But you definitely want to go ahead and do that now, because it can take us up to 48 hours to approve the application. So you definitely want to make sure that you go ahead and check that out now. If you are interested, especially if you're interested in the Tuesday class, because that is tomorrow, August the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. Okay. All right, you guys. So like I said, I wanted to hop on in here, give my little 2 cents on this right here. And then now I'm going to keep going with the rest of my day. But you guys, I pray that this was helpful. Once again, useful information. You guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys on the other side of this live. You guys, take care, take care, take care.